morning everyone. So for today's video, I'm going to answer 5 questions in regarding of purposive communication subject. This will serve as our midterm exam. So first question is, as a student, how will you promote your hometown's best legacy? So, Iligan City is a highly urbanized city located in northern Mindanao, and it is industrial center of southern Philippines. So as a student, I will promote Iligan City for its beautiful places and tourist spots. So Iligan City is known as City of Majestic Waterfalls because we have 23 waterfalls here in Iligan City, like Tinago Falls, Maria Cristina Falls, and other waterfalls. But aside from waterfalls, we also had a lot of tourist spots and beautiful places such as Iligan City Wet Park, Esplanade, Paseo de Santiago, Mount Rugungon, Mount Agad-Agad, Mighty Hilltop View Deck, and many more places we must go. A very relaxing and beautiful nature here in Iligan City. And of course, if you plan to have a vacation here in Iligan City, you must try the famous food here in Iligan City. It's actually a Muslim's food called pater. Okay, and pater with palapa is the best food I've ever tasted. And you can buy it in Pater Al Quait, located in Aguinaldo Street here in Iligan City. So now, for the second question. As a citizen, how will you promote our country? What language or dialect will you promote and why? As a Filipino citizen, I will promote our Filipino language because it is our national language, or in Filipino, we call it Pambansang Wika or Wikang Pambansa. And it also one of the 2 official languages here in the Philippines. So, we use this language to communicate other people here in the Philippines from other provinces, because we have a lot of languages here in the Philippines. We have Chavacano, Waray, Tausug, Maguindanao, Maranao, Bisaya, but we use Filipino language to communicate other people who can't speak in another dialect. So for question number 3, what certain culture of Filipinos are you most proud of and willing to promote? The common culture practices here in the Philippines that I will promote is the Bayanihan Filipino culture. Why? It is the most popular culture here in the Philippines that up until now it is still practiced. Filipinos tradition to help one another, to help your neighbors, to help other people who is needed. That's the Bayanihan culture. And of course, the Harana culture. Filipinos are very sweet and full of effort when it comes to courting to a lady. And of course, us lady, we wanted to feel special, we wanted to feel love. And Harana is the most sweetest love gesture, love language for us, because it sounds so good when someone's courting you, singing out there. But it's just sad that now people are just courting you through text, through chats. But still, we still have Harana culture up until this day. Okay, so for the fourth question, cite one scenario or situation wherein you have traveled to a foreign place or area that you are not familiar with. How did you manage to communicate with the locals? What communication barriers have you experienced and how did you overcome them? In my own experience, I've never tried to travel alone, to travel a foreign place alone. Every time I travel or every time I go to another place that I'm not familiar to, I always had someone by my side. And first, before I go to that particular place, of course I have to search just to have a little bit background, where to go, what kind of place is that, what kind of people living in that place, just a little bit background. But if just here in the Philippines, if you wanted to go for other places, you can use Filipino language to communicate with other people because it's our national language. And all Filipinos can be able to speak Filipino language. But if you go to another country like Japan, so for Japan, their first priority is really their language. So if you go to another foreign country, then you can speak English because that's our international language to be able to communicate with other people. But if I know that not all um, can be able to speak English, so maybe if I am going to put in that kind of situation, it is really a struggle for me. But maybe I'll just kind of ask Google help, like translate a sentence or a thought that I wanted to ask to the particular person that I'm talking to. For the fifth question, lastly, what do you think is the biggest challenge in communicating to this generation, specifically with the use of social media? How will you lessen or strengthen its effects? Maybe the biggest challenge in communicating using the social media, because we are going phones mobile phones, gadgets, laptop, to text, to communicate with other people. And the one thing that is good for using phones is we have the dictionary, the auto dictionary, where it automatically correct the spelling um, of a word that you type. It might be also a disadvantage because if you are going to write it, it's hard because, but it also had a disadvantage because we are just depending on the auto dictionary of the phone, where it automatically correct the wrong grammar or the wrong spelling. But if in person, if you're going to like to write, example, you're going to write a letter without auto dictionary, then it's a struggle for you to correct that spelling because you have to scan a dictionary or to search it for Google to ask for a correct spelling. So yeah, that's it. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you.